You don't want to appeal to people's love, to the fact that they like you. You want to appeal to the fact that they need you. Because if they love you, love is a very tenuous emotion. In fact, it doesn't work very well in the work situation. It causes all kinds of problems. They'll get rid of you tomorrow even though they like you.
Welcome to today's masterclass series, where we'll bring you expert insight to level up your professional and personal life. In today's video, we have some invaluable advice from the renowned author Robert Greene. We will dive into his top tips on how to become an indispensable employee, build unshakable confidence, and deflect criticism. Stay tuned as we share exclusive tips on Robert Greene's wisdom-packed sessions. Let's get started.
I talk in that particular chapter of several strategies. So let's say you're in a corporation, you kind of don't just depend on one person. You just aren't just necessary to the boss, but you spread yourself out to 3 or 4 different networks. You get a sense of how the whole company is functioning. You have your roots in this place, in this place, in this place. So you have more knowledge. It's kind of spread around. And to get rid of you is going to cause a lot of problems because you're not only involved here, but you're involved here, here, and here. And you have knowledge that nobody else has. So you want to have a kind of knowledge and skill base that makes you unique, you know? So, and that means just don't depend on one skill, but have several skills and don't be afraid to do that. That's, I think, is probably the key strategy here. But when it comes to if you're an entrepreneur, it's the same dynamic for an entrepreneur. It's the same dynamic for me. The way you make yourself necessary and others dependent on you is to be the only person who can do this job. You are so unique. There's only one Elon Musk. There's only one Steve Jobs, right? They're irreplaceable. They're not afraid to be themselves, have their own style. And so, that's what secures their position. So if I wrote books like everybody else, I wouldn't have that position of power. But because I'm the only one, for better or for worse, who can write books the way I do, I have secured a position in the publishing world. So it's a law that applies everywhere. Well, it depends on, you have a sense of, in my book Mastery, I call it knowing your life's task. This was what you were meant to accomplish in life, right? And you're very firm about it and you feel very confident about it. And so when people come like that editor did and tell me that you shouldn't be a writer, you're able to deflect it because you have a dream and nothing will get you to sidetrack from that dream. But also having a sense of accomplishment. So it's not that you're a bullshit artist, it's not that you're a con artist. You've actually accomplished A, B, and C in life, right? So if people come and attack me, I don't really care because I have this that I can always fall back on. I have a book that sold 2 million copies. How many people can say that? I don't care, bring it on, I'm fine with that. But the one other thing I would say about that is that you want to, in the case for all people of power, in any position you are in life, I have a law in the 48 Laws of Power called never appear too perfect. And the danger in the world today is, the number one danger is envy. We live in a time of social media, etc., where it's massive envy, where we know what everybody else is doing in life, and we don't like to admit that we're envious, so we attack people passive-aggressively. We subvert them, we try and throw obstacles in their way. We criticize them when in fact we envy them. And the strategy there is to learn how to deflect envy. So if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, you have to have some humor, you have to have some self-deprecating humor. You have to take the criticism that comes and kind of laugh at it and go along with it so that you don't appear all stiff and rigid and defensive. So that's the other thing I would say. To be able to distinguish between what is legitimate criticism and you have to look at the source. Trusted her, right? If some schmo off the street is writing on a YouTube video comments about me, etc., I don't pay it any attention because I don't know who he or she is or what their credentials are. There's one in there, interaction with boldness, and this is particularly applicable to entrepreneurs. It's about how human nature, we're kind of impressed and intimidated by people who enter in with a lot of confidence and boldness and a bit of drama and surprise. It kind of appeals to the animal in us. We're put back on our feet, and we're like, whoa, what's going on here? It's impressive. It creates a distinctive impression. Whereas if you kind of enter in like with your business or your book or in a meeting, and you're kind of half-assedly promoting an idea, it already looks weak before it even started, right? If you don't have confidence in your own idea, how can I have confidence? And there's an element almost of bullshit and playing a con man. And I have a story in there of Christopher Columbus, who was in fact, came from the lower classes, had no aristocratic connections, was a mediocre navigator and captain, and he went and proposed this to the Portuguese king, this incredible expedition, as if he was an aristocrat. He was full of all of this confidence, and it created an impression on the other. There must be a reason for that confidence. So having a sense of you were destined to accomplish something, that you feel that it's going to succeed, it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm a classic introvert, and yet I've used it. It's more a sense of you have to know your strengths and play to your strengths. So if I tried to show this kind of confidence and boldness on a basketball court, I'd be laughed off. If I tried to show it with my artwork and my painting and my doodling, I wouldn't be able to pull it off. But I know that I have one thing that I'm strong at. It's with words and language and writing. And so I can pull off being bold because I feel inside myself that inner confidence. You have to almost deceive yourself that you can accomplish this. So I can go on the list through classic introverts who've been incredibly successful. Albert Einstein was a terrible introvert, even though he seems like he's sort of this comic person who's good with people. He was terrible, very awkward and timid. But he knew one thing that he was so good at, and he pushed on and pushed on and pushed on it. And when it came to physics and relativity, there was nobody else who could argue with him. So play to your strength, play to what you know, what you're good at, what you've accomplished. And even the worst introvert in the world, like myself, can exude that kind of boldness.
Everybody, thank you for joining us for today's masterclass with Robert Greene. I hope you found the strategies of becoming indispensable, advocate critics, and boosting your confidence. I hope you found these strategies actionable, insightful as I did. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe for more expert advice and masterclasses. Leave a comment below for which tip resonated most with you and the topic you want me to share next. Until next time, keep striving